Hey there berries, in this reputation video we're going to be talking about the Tuskarrs, which is the Iskaara Tuskarr Renown Reputation in Dragonflight. Previously I covered the Dragonscale Expedition and I'll be doing all of the Renown reputations, so if you want some tips on how to speedily climb through the Renown reputation ranks, then be sure to subscribe for those videos. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Iskaara, and that's probably one of the ones that you're going to be finding hardest to climb with at the start, as there isn't too many things to do. Iskaara does have the totem things that you can hand in. There's an NPC at the back in this hut, and you can hand those in bundles of either singular, 5s or 20s. They give 25 reputation each, and that's worth doing whenever you've got the Dark Moon buff, or if you really just need to push your renown level over. You can generally find those Tuskarr totems in little treasure chests dotted around, or the magic bound chests that you can find around the world by using the Dragonscale Expedition, the Anomaly Detection Mark 1, and there's also potentially a chance that you can get it just naturally from the magical treasure chest on Renown 16 on Dragonscale Expedition, but I haven't fully tested that one out. There are a couple of dailies that you can do every single day with the Tuskarrs. There's 2 fishing dailies. One of them unlocks when you hit Renown level 4. It's the fishing holes one, and in the Waking Shores you have the ruby life pools, and you have 2 quests there. One gives 50 rep, I believe, and the other one gives 150 rep. Both of them are worth doing. There is another quest there to replenish the fish by handing in bundles of 10 fish. That quest does not give reputation, but that does help replenish the pools in the area. So if you are doing some fishing and want to make the area rich in fish, then you can do that to help add to the area. Once you hit level 10 renown, you're going to have access to the extra daily in the Azure Span, and it's going to be a very similar quest to the daily in the Waking Shores. Just over here in this big frozen pool, there's going to be a Tuskarr there that's going to give you a quest. He's going to make you go south, catch some fish in a net on a usable item, and then come back to one of those ice pools, and then you just chuck the fish back in. It replenishes the fish in the area again, just like the Ruby Life Pools one, and also gives around about 150 reputation, so you should be doing those ones every single day. It's very, very quick reputation. Now the big one is the Community Feast. Now that one unlocks quite early on, thankfully, and that is at rank number 3. So once every roughly 4 hours, this event will happen in the Azure Span, right at the far west section on the coast. There's a little horn icon there saying Community Feast. The cooking event just ended, but the soup is ready to eat. Well, that horn will then go, and then you'll have to wait a long amount of time for the event to spawn, but it is on set notifications. So on the Wowhead website, actually, they've just recently added the timers that you'll be able to use. So if you go to the front page of the Wowhead website, and if you just scroll down from the main page just ever so slightly, you got today in WoW, you got timers both for NA and EU, and it's going to tell you, like for example for me, in 2 hours and 18 minutes the cooking feast begins. You can also use this for the Dragonbane Keep, which is a different event, but this is pretty useful, and it's going to tell you like what weekly quests are available and things like that. So wowheads.com is a really good useful resource for the cooking timers. You can take part in the event multiple times. There is a specific weekly reward, and then it's worth doing daily if you have the spare time as well, and you can do it multiple times in one day as well. I took part in the event twice today, and I did all of the event, and basically I got around about 459 reputation with the Dark Moon Fair buff. I'd also had done it the first time I did it on the day. You get to kill the rare mob at the end called Bizzleberry. He gives an additional 50 rep, 55 if you got the Dark Moon Fair buff. So If you're doing this for the first time every single day, you can get around about 514 reputation with the Dark Moon Fair buff. Otherwise you're looking around about 459 reputation for any future ones that you do in that day, but it's still incredibly worth doing if you have the spare time to do it, because getting Tuskarr rep is pretty damn difficult, honestly, and this is the most consistent way of doing it. If it's your first time with a week doing it, you're also going to get a gear upgrade called the Supply Laden Pot, a Super Pot, and inside that you should get a guaranteed upgrade on your gear. I opened mine yesterday, and I think I got, what did I get? I think it was these legs, these 372 legs, which is the equivalent of Mythic 0. So yeah, catching up my item level here, that was probably with an item level of 377 at the time. But it should give you, in theory, a guaranteed upgrade on your current spec when you're opening it. On top of the huge reward as well, once per week, you're also going to get an extra 500 rep, 550 if you use the Dark Moon Fair buff. Now the event itself is maybe a bit complicated the very first time you do it, and then once you know what's actually going on, it's actually incredibly easy. So Big Kinnock will start off the event, and I highly advise you stand extremely close to him, just in like melee range close to the pot. I found this isn't exactly 100% proven, but you might as well give it a go yourself. You'll get more work orders from Big Kinnock if you're standing close to him, or at least close to the pot. Basically, there's a chance for you to get a order from Kinnock. Now this could be different tasks such as walking over little fish, throwing fish into the pot, being told to go spin around inside the pot where he'll chuck you in. There's another one which you have to go around the town gathering, speaking to some NPCs and gathering some ingredients. But also I found, as long as someone else is kind of doing the stuff, you get reputation anyway. So if you really wanted to be a lazy leech, you could actually just stand next to the pot, and I was getting reputation. Each order that you do, you get 25 base reputation, so around about 27 reputation with the Dark Moon Fair buff. And I found that if you're able to join a shard where there's fewer people, you should get more work orders. I did find that very populated shards, I did find that I did get a fewer amount of orders, which means fewer, like less rep basically. So try and join a shard if you can, that isn't too busy. One little tip that I could advise you with is that you could kind of go out of the area just before the event starts, so it's just around the cusp somewhere, and then join a shard, come into the event and then leave it, and then it should hopefully put you in like the freshest server that they've made up for the event, because there's going to be a lot of people taking part, so they're going to have lots of different shard instances for this. The Azure span actually in general is pretty badly managed in terms of the network end, because just over across on the same zone you've got the Cobalt assembly, and that's just a whole bunch of people farming mobs constantly in large groups generally as well. So generally it can cause a lot of lag. Unfortunately, they've decided to put two huge events together, and it's not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, number one tip, just stand next to the cookbook. Mobs will come, you'll have to fight them. If you don't kill the big beasts, the lid will stay closed and no more work orders will come. So it is, you do want to kill those big elite beasts as quickly as possible, and then get back to the pot as quickly as possible to get your work orders. But generally, it's not an exactly difficult event. Don't panic too much, and just read what's happening on the top right hand corner up below your minimap, and you should be fine. In terms of other Tuskarr things, you've got your standard quests and you've got your world quests also give reputation, but there aren't that many quests out there that give Tuskarr reputation. If you haven't already done all your quests, I do recommend a spot around about 50-57. There's a little quest chain there that also gives around about 1k rep that's kind of hidden. It could be slightly higher, around about 48-52. You'll see it when you're flying around this little area around here. Once again, if you can, try and do the honestly pretty much any reputation, including your world quests, with the Dark Moon Fair buff. I know it's tedious going all the way back to Orgrimmar, but in the long run it's completely worth it, and reputation in general at the moment is getting more and more hard, more and more difficult as Blizzard is continuously nerfing events that are happening, like with the Obsidian Citadel reputation. There are reports of them, and I've kind of seen it myself a little bit, of reduced amounts of dirt. That could be because more people are going for the dirt, but it also could be that Blizzard is making it just a little bit more difficult. So be aware, they could end up nerfing this as well, but yeah, use it while you still can. I don't see a reason for Blizzard to necessarily nerf this Tuskarr event. It's pretty difficult to get Tuskarr rep, and this is like the only real way to do it. Well, all the best. I hope the resources here have helped you and teach you how to get the Tuskarr rep, and do make sure you subscribe if you are interested in getting the Morok Centaur and the Valdrakken Accord reputation up. And I already have a guide up on my YouTube channel with the Dragon Scale Expedition, which I'm getting so close to Renown 16. I really want to explore this magical treasure chest option and kind of showcase it if it's good or not. All the best, take care, and see you for another video. Bye.